Hey, what's going down, guys? What's going down? I know I promised you guys this yesterday. I decided to not divide it into sections, but I'm gonna go through Plan B with Mr. Elk Spaghetti. Video, tools. So we'll cover some defensive tools. We'll cover some field tools. We'll cover some hunting tools. I am not gonna break the bow out. I've got those stored until probably mid-July when we break those out to get ready for deer season there. They're stored away. Before I get into this, if y'all have not been through any formal firearms training, you need to be aware of the basic firearms safety rules. Never handle a weapon when you're intoxicated or under the influence. That's including marijuana. I know it's legal in a lot of states. Never point a weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger at all times till you're ready to fire. Be aware of your target and what's beyond it. So I would implore you guys that if you don't have any formal firearms training and you don't own any weapons and you're going to, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Please check with your state's local and state laws for any restrictions that may come about with anything that I might show you. I also implore you guys that if you can, attend the training and become a concealed weapons permit holder if the permit is required. Some states are constitutional carry, which means you don't need a permit, but I still implore you to take the class. Fieldcraft Survival with Mike Glover and his whole team nationwide. They got people everywhere. They offer very reasonable courses in defensive pistol. This will reduce your liability from way up here to way down here when it comes to carrying a firearm concealed out in society. When to use it, when not to use it, carry considerations, ammunition selection, so on and so forth. The legal ramifications that come from it. I was told years and years and years ago when I got into law enforcement, every bullet in that gun is worth $1 million. You don't want to miss. You don't want to hit a target you don't intend to, but you do want to have the tools available to you should your life or the life of one of your loved ones or your kids be put in jeopardy. And there seems to be a lot more of that going around. So I do implore you guys that if you are physically able, you are legally able, and you have the desire to carry a firearm concealed, whether it be constitutional carry or concealed weapons permit, please attend the training, get it done. Make sure that if you're not going to attend one of Mike's courses or one of his people's courses, it is a credible training agency. It's not just, there's plenty of tactical guys on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else, and you can log in here and search up videos of dudes doing stupid shit and almost killing people. Make sure they're credible, check their references. A lot of times if you talk with some of your vets from your local community, they have people that have opened up training schools, whether they have a brick and mortar building or not. Law enforcement that have been through and are certified by the NRA as instructors or range masters are another good source. So make sure you look into their credentials before you guys take that leap with them. Another thing I will say before we get into this, anytime you're going to do any kind of weapons handling at the house for training, this one obviously you can't drop a magazine on, but this will help you in practicing your draw techniques. Hey, leave that alone. So I got a cat over here messing with a gun. Yeah, you. Go on, you little terrorist. It's my dad. Using a tactical light, getting used to a tactical light, drawing from a either open carry holster or a concealed carry holster, wherever you choose to conceal that. I would recommend spending the 40 or 50 bucks and getting a red gun, because this is a valuable tool, and you don't ever have to worry about flagging someone whether it's loaded or not. It is a fucking piece of fucking rubber. It's a good tool to have. I've used one for my own personal training, and then when I was in the training program as a field training officer, I've trained probably 300 officers with this gun, and implored them to do the same. So it's pretty much a staple if you're going to get into any kind of firearms training, that you have a red gun that you can do your basic drills with, so you're not drawing a firearm that may or may not be loaded. As part of your checklist before you ever point a weapon at a wall, a floor, a ceiling, anything, you're going to pick it up, you're going to point it in a safe direction, you're going to make sure there's no magazine, you're going to rack the slide to the rear, you're going to check that the magazine's gone, that the barrel does not have a round in it, and then you're going to let the slide go home. On Glocks, the only safe position to carry this in is with the striker down, so you're going to point it in a safe direction, you're going to pull the trigger, that's going to drop the striker on the striker fired pistol. That is a safe firearm. You're still not going to point it at anyone, but you know this weapon is safe. Anytime someone hands you a weapon, you're going to go through that exact same, those exact same steps. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Jesus himself handing you a weapon. Drop the magazine, point it in a safe direction, drop the magazine, slide to the rear, no mag, no round, let the slide go home, make it safe. Anytime there's an exchange of firearms between people, always make sure that you are receiving a weapon that's unloaded. Always make sure that you are handing someone a weapon that's unloaded. So with that being said, I'll jump off my soapbox and put the red gun down here for a minute because you guys have seen that. Now we'll go into, I'll go into some of my edge tools. And this is one of my staples. I will also say that before I get into this, I am not endorsed by any of these manufacturers. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not receiving money in any way, shape, or form. I've purchased all these over my career and time. I stand by them because I beat the hell out of my gear. For a lot of you geardos out there, you understand exactly what I'm saying. When it's called a torture test, I torture the fuck out of my gear. So I want shit that's gonna hold up. Obviously, when you're talking about gear that you're gonna beat the hell out of, it's gotta hold up, and when you do that, you're gonna probably pay premium money for it. What I'll tell you is, if you can't afford a piece of gear at the time, wait and get it when you can. Do not settle for something because it's cheaper. It will always bite you in the ass. Okay, cool. So this is my standard folder that I carry every day, everywhere I go. And it's just a Tanto. It's made by Benchmade. It is a very, very good tool to have. I've never had any issues with Benchmade's chipping or anything like that. I send all my Benchmades out at least once a year to the factory in Oregon and have my folders serviced and all the blades sharpened by the bladesmith there. I can do infield sharpening, but it's just not the same as having a bladesmith get a hold of it. So that's my folder. This is a blade that I carry on my chest rig, my plate carrier. This is for more defensive purposes, and you'd be surprised what this goes through. I know what it goes through, but it's something to have handy. You're not always going to need a blade like this, but it's something that's always good to have connected to a backpack, somewhere like that. So neither here nor there. We'll put that bad boy down. Now this is probably my favorite one, and I've used it quite frequently. This is a Skinner. I know the lighting's kind of bad, so you guys can't see the handle, but it's bead blasted stainless. It's also Benchmade, gorgeous wood handle. I have probably skinned out 35, 40 deer, a couple of elk between this one and the next one I'm going to bring up, but it comes with a nice little sheath. I wouldn't worry about, oh, it doesn't fit on my belt. If you're wearing knives like these on your belt, you're asking for fucking trouble. You're probably going to lose a very expensive piece of steel, or you're going to do something stupid somewhere you shouldn't, and it's going to be concealed, and you're going to get pinched for something. Just, it's not worth it. So what I do with these is it goes into my pack, both of my blades, when I'm hunting. I'll have the folder in my pocket in case I need something for utility, but I do not use this one or the next one I'm going to show you for anything other than cleaning and dressing animals. So the blade is always stupid sharp. There's a reason for that. My other knife, I can dull it out, sharpen it, dull it out, sharpen it. These ones are always ready to go for processing food. So they're always sanitized, and that's a big deal too. So this bad boy is going to be my larger skinner, and this is what I use for more big game like elk, bear, stuff like that. You got more surface area to cut. It's a drop point. It's real thick. Like I said, I tend to beat the hell out of my equipment. I don't want something that's going to break. I don't want something that the tip's going to come off on it. I don't want nicks and chips into my cutting surface, but it's got the same handle as the other blade. Benchmade makes a really good quality of gear, but you will pay for it. So just be aware before you get online, you start looking up their blades, because they are pricey, but you definitely get what you pay for when it comes to dealing with steel. So I have an axe, but it is currently secured with one of my sons. He's got it. Generally, I'll have an axe, and some people may call it a hatchet, but it's Damascus steel with nice 26-inch hickory stock on it. You can use it for just about everything when you're out in the field. Sometimes you got to trash. Hey, what you doing? Come here. Come over here and meet the people. Who that? Yep, this is my little angel. My little terrorist. She's a sweetheart. And she's going to go play somewhere now. Come on, get out of here. You always need something for chopping down, chopping branches off, making kindling for a fire, or whatever it may be. So it's a good tool to have when you're out in the field. Even if you just leave it in, underneath the seat in the back of your truck, in a toolbox. You don't want to leave it in the bed. You end up getting some rust and stuff on that. But it's a good piece of steel. Typically with the axes, you can sharpen them up with an angle grinder, and you're not going to have any issues. We'll go into the hunting portion of it. This is going to be 12 gauge semi-automatic Remington Versamax. It's a duck and a goose gun. So this is my waterfowl gun, but I have used it for upland game, for pheasant, quail, dove. Good all-around gun. This one's in 12 gauge. It's a semi-auto, and it cycles fast. It shoots soft. It can shoot 2 3/4 all the way up to 3 1/2. And when you're going in, you're selecting these shotguns, what you want to do is have the shotgun fitted to you, because you can have the stock adjusted on these to fit the shooter. And unlike a rifle, shotguns, you are pointing them, not aiming them. So there's a spread with a shotgun. With a rifle, you're aiming a rifle, you're pointing a shotgun. So you want the shotgun to line up correctly, and the stock to be set up for each individual shooter. So this is a good tool. You do not need 12 gauge, especially for the ladies out there. There's plenty of outstanding 20 gauge shotguns. One of my sons prefers a 20 over a 12, unless we're going out for geese, and then he wants a 12 gauge. But I got 12 gauges, 20 gauges. I had a nice 410 that I raised my kids with. The issue with 410 is it's real hard to get shells for it. I do not currently have a reloading setup in the house that I'm in now. I will have it at the new place once we get everything up there. I'm in the middle of moving all of our shit up to the new property up there. Next, and this one is going to be my son's rifle. It's going to be a Ruger Mini 14. This is in 5.56. So this is a good weapon for the fact that this uses the exact same round that any of your defensive rifles are going to use, but you can use the 5.56 round for smaller game, whether you're fighting off coyotes trying to get at your chickens, bobcats, stuff like that. 5.56 with the right ammunition will harvest venison. I would not recommend it for elk or bear unless it's in an emergency and you're defending yourself, but a well-placed shot from a 5.56 will stop a deer effectively with a clean kill. You won't have to track it. You just have to know where to shoot, but that's going to come back to what I told you guys in one of the other videos and getting into a hunter's education course. Now, optimally for deer, and I didn't break that rifle out, it's locked up in the safe. I have a 270. I have a 270. My son's got a 308. We use either one for deer. And elk, I prefer archery, but that's just me personally. So with that being said, like I talked about, you get into your defensive rifles, you got your standard M4 platform. This one is irons. I do have other ones that have optics set up on them. The issue with optics is if you do not know how to shoot iron sights with one of these weapons and you run an optic with flip ups and your optic goes down, you will never ever be able to hit anything with those flip up sights if you don't learn how to shoot with the basic model. So this one's also chambered in 5.56. This is going to be more of a defensive setup, household property, so on and so forth. It can be used as the Varmint Rifle, like I said, taking out coyotes, bobcats, cougars, other shit that's coming on and trying to fuck with your livestock or your chickens or whatever. Using the same round as the other one. Everyone thinks the black rifle is so evil, but it uses the exact same round as the stainless steel Mini 14 without the pistol grip. The exact same round. So you can also harvest deer with these as well. So don't look past them just because they may have a bad persona about them. I stand by the AR-15 or M4. I call it an M4 because I have agency weapons too. So this one is not an agency weapon. This one is one of mine. And then I've got some other ones that have optics. But this is the one that I train all my boys on, because if they can't shoot iron sights, they're not going to be able to pick up a rifle with optics on it. With that being said, I'll put this bad boy down. You can notice all these weapons are all conditioned out. There's no magazines. Slides are to the rear. There's no ammunition in the room. I made sure I cleared everything out because I'm a good instructor. And good instructors do that because they set a good example. Now we get into pistols, highly contested. What I will tell you guys when it comes to pistols, do not get caught up on a name brand. Forget the price tag. Don't even look at the price tag when you're looking at pistols, especially if you're a first timer. What you need is a pistol that fits your hand as the shooter, something that you can shoot. So if you can get onto a range that has rental pistols, where you can try out a bunch of different manufacturers, you want the pistol that is going to fit your hand. If it's not comfortable and it doesn't feel right in your hand, you're going to have issues mastering that weapon. Most of the weapons out there, the shooter cannot shoot to the capabilities of the firearm. As a firearms instructor, just like Mike Glover would tell you, is he and I also aim to make you the shooter that can shoot to that firearms capability. So with that being said, if you're new to the firearms community or firearms in general, and you walk into a gun store and you're thinking concealed carry, right? I want something that I can carry, nobody knows I got, or women, somewhat smaller hands, so on and so forth. You're going to walk in and you're going to see something about this size. This is going to be a Glock 43. Clear that bad boy out. I would not recommend this firearm for a first-time shooter or for someone that does not have at least intermediate skill with a pistol. And the reason with that being said is, you see how short that barrel is? This is a snappy firearm. This is chambered in 9mm, and this is a snappy firearm. There's a lot of recoil, and this is a subcompact gun. So if anybody in a gun store is, hey, well, you're a woman or you want something concealed carry, this is what you should buy. Or a Smith & Wesson Shield, 9 or 40, stay away from it if you're new to firearms in general, because it is a very hard weapon to master with that level of recoil. Once you've shot some other pistols with longer barrels and gotten used to the recoil of it and what the firearm does, how it functions, you guys would be a lot better off to maybe move to something like this. It's a very rare occasion when I carry something like this, because typically it's during the summer when I'm wearing less clothing than I would during the winter, and I got to be able to hide it where not God and everyone can see it. So with that being said, I'll put that bad boy down. Next one on the list is pretty much my everyday carry. This is going to be, I'm going to clear it out. This is going to be my Glock 19 with a Surefire X300, and this is the one with the spring clip, not the tensioner. I do that on purpose, that way I can carry the weapon without the tactical light on or with the tactical light on. So this is also chambered in 9mm, but as you can tell, you see the size difference? The size, you can't really see it, but it's got a longer barrel. This one is the compact, and the recoil felt is reduced. Everyone says, oh, I don't need to carry a tac light. I don't go out at night. Well, guess what? You see how much light that puts out? What happens when you're in a grocery store or a shopping mall? The power goes down, something happens. You have a disaster, and you got to get out of there. People are doing stupid shit. They're starting to rob. starting to steal women's purses, or trust me, it's always good to either have a flashlight on you or a weapon mounted light. So I prefer the Surefire, and the reason that I do prefer the Surefire is because this is made out of metal. Some of the other manufacturers out there, it's made of polycarbonate, and those ones tend to have issues, especially after a little bit of time and absorbing that heat. They can get brittle. So this is a very good firearm. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not going to point it at me. It is locked to the rear, but I do carry and have night sights on my weapons. And some people, oh, those are worthless. Yeah, to help you find your gun in the dark. It's a joke. Laugh. Come on now. So with that being said, now we move on to the Cadillac. And this is the gun that I recommend that everyone start with, without the RMR. You have to learn how to shoot with iron sights before you can shoot with optics. So I'm going to clear that bad boy out, slide it home. I also have the Surefire X300. This one has the tensioner screw on it. And then this has got an RMR optical sight. But if you look at the rear sight, I have the suppressor height, rear and front sight that are also night sights, so that should the optic ever fail, the front and rear sight will co-witness through the optic. This one's chambered in 9mm. And if you look at the subcompact and the full size side by side, once again, you're getting a longer barrel, so you got less recoil. So this is what I recommend new shooters start with, is a full-size pistol. Not necessarily the Glock 17, but a full-size pistol, so that you get used to what it feels like when you let that round off. It doesn't frighten you. You get used to the blast pressure. You get used to the shell casings flying everywhere. This is also called the master grip, by the way. Your finger does not go in the trigger guard until you're pointed downrange on target and you're ready to fire. Because that way, if anything startles you, you don't squeeze a round off. But when you start out, you want to start out with the full-size pistol, get broke into it, begin to master it, and then you can go to the compact. The compact is probably as small as I would go for a concealed carry for the purposes of personal defense. Like the 43, the subcompact, that's like I want to carry, but I really fucking can't conceal that compact, but I don't want to have nothing. But I really recommend either the compact pistol or a full size, because a full size is very, very much concealable. I can holster this appendix and nobody sees it. Same thing with the 19. And the reason that I say that you're better off with the 19 or the 17 or the compact or the full-size pistol is going to be magazine capacity. So magazine capacity, depending on your locality, because some people live in commie states and don't have status, the 19 is 15 plus 1, and then the 17 here is 17 plus 1. If you live in a fucking commie state, even New York and Los Angeles have dropped it below 10 rounds. But most of the time, the commie states they're 10-round magazines. 10 rounds better than no rounds, so do what you got to do. With that being said, but you guys see just about everything that I carry has got a tactical light on it. It's called being well prepared for everything that happens. Should you not need a tactical light and you have one, cool. It's there. Should you need a tactical light or a weapon light or a flashlight and you don't have one, you're fucked. So when I talked about, using your red pistol for becoming familiar with how to operate stuff, it's perfect for doing drills with a tactical light. So now you can do all kinds of stuff with a tactical light. And you don't have to worry about having a live weapon in your hand, or a weapon that could be live. You also don't risk it dropping this, breaking it, knocking a sight off, knocking a sight out of alignment, whatever it may be. Get comfortable with individuals within your firearms community, because that's probably going to be your greatest resource for coming up with ammunition, coming up with good ranges. Now, what I'll tell you for defense, listen clearly. Jacketed hollow points. I use Hornady critical duties. Critical defense is a good round as well. There's plenty of great jacketed hollow points out there. The reason that you use jacketed hollow points, and a lot of the law enforcement that follow me will attest to this, is if you shoot someone 15 times with full metal jackets to neutralize the threat, where 2 rounds of jacketed hollow point would have stopped the threat and they would have survived, you can be looked at when you end up in court on that as using excessive force. You're still held to the standard of it's got to be reasonable. The amount of force you use has to be reasonable. Full metal jackets, that's range ammunition. Unless you're downrange over in country and using NATO rounds, cool, got it. Jacketed hollow points, but even then, they can use hollow points if they're not and I'm not getting into that. Some of you guys who are in the military understand it, but jacketed hollow points, it's a defense round. It's a business round. You don't shoot those at the range. Those go into your magazines. They're for defense. They're in your pistol when they're at the house. Full metal jackets means there's no little cup. You can't see the inside of the round. Those are for paper. Those are target killers. Those are for you to get good. So you want to get a fair amount of the full metal jackets so that when you go to the range, you got ammunition. Check out Brownells. They got a decent rotation of ammunition that comes through. It's not cheap, but you start yourself off with 200-300 rounds that'll get you through. If you can get a case of 1,000 rounds, that's perfect. You're probably going to pay between $300 and $400 for a case of 1,000 rounds of 9mm. But if you're going with different calibers, all bets are off. Jacketed hollow points, when it comes down to business rounds, you're probably looking $30-40 for 25 rounds. They're expensive. That's why I said you don't shoot them at the range. So when it comes to holsters, what I will say on the holsters, this is my personal preference. You guys may have your own. These are made by G-Code holsters out of North Carolina. They're great. I got one for the 17. It's over there somewhere where I holster up with, and I have the one for the 19. We holster up with the tack light and the RMR. They're hard kite. Where's the tan one? You guys can see it. They're hard Kydex. They got a single clip, so when it goes into your pants, clips over the top of the belt, you don't have any issues reholstering, and it's not going to be uncomfortable. It's covered with like a tactical suede. I think that's what they call it, tactical fuzz. But body sweat, heat, stuff like that, you almost forget these holsters are in your waistband. So like I said before, I'm not endorsed, sponsored, or otherwise by any of these companies, but I have tried many, many holsters over my career. And when I found G-Code, I've never gone to anything else. When it comes to battle belt and exposed carry holsters, I'm a Safariland guy. There'll probably be people talking shit. I use Safariland gun bucket. I've got one for duty that has the rotated hood on top, but it's got the push button. So technically, if I rotate the hood, it goes level 3. That means it's really, really secure and can get you killed. So what I'll say is open top holster with some kind of security on it is great for a battle belt, because if you're wearing a battle belt, that pistol becomes a secondary weapon and that rifle is your primary weapon. But you still want to have some level of retention on it so the gun doesn't come out of the holster or nobody can walk up and snatch it from you easily. So there's a difference of opinion on where to carry mags, whether it's belt mounted or chest carrier mounted. I've got 2 different setups. I've got it where I can carry triple mags on the belt, or I can carry triple mags up and it's on the exterior of my chest rig, my plate carrier, and I have 3 slots for M4 mags as well. I also carry a dump pouch on the back support side for magazines and other stuff that might be expended. Like Lou was saying, 8-9 months ago, he carries extra magazines in that dump pouch, so he's not just stuck with the 3 on there. So I've been known to do that, but typically the dump pouch I'm using for expended magazines and stuff like that. So I'm picking that stuff up, not leaving them behind. You want to train with good habits. Train with someone that knows what the fuck they're doing. Many recommendations. If a guy gets butt hurt because you're asking him for references for firearms training, that's not your guy. That's not your guy. If the guy gets butt hurt when you ask him what certifications he has in order to teach firearms safety either a defensive or tactical pistol, rifle, or shotgun course, and he doesn't have any, and he gets butthurt because you asked, that's not your guy. There's a lot of money invested in tools, and you're going to want to be well invested in the training to be able to use those to your highest level of capability. So should you ever need to use those, whether it be defensively or out in the field for hunting, you're going to be successful. Defensively, successful means you survive an encounter, and so does your family. Out in the field hunting, that means you're bringing meat home to put on the table for your family. So I do have some other tools. I do not have them here with me, but I've got I got a full chest rig minus any armor. Then I've got a chest rig in plate carrier. I've got soft plates from Safe Light Defense. It's the new Frass plates. They're real comfortable. I also have hard plates. They're ceramic. I don't even remember the name of that company. But I also have a bucket from Team Windy. It's a high cut where my hearing protection is mounted on there. It also has mounts for my NVGs. Should I need those? But you guys shouldn't have to worry about that. That's like shit hits the fan stuff and you're evacing. For some of y'all that are in inner cities, I mean, you might need it, but most likely not. You're just going to draw a lot more attention to yourself than you're going to need. Now, the purpose to all these tools is not to fucking be fucking John Wick, to be completely honest. The only time weapons ever come out is when they're going to be used. And then you disappear into the smoke like everybody else. This ain't the movies. Be a good witness. Protect you and yours. Act when you need to. Don't hesitate to act, but you want to fit in a part of the crowd when society starts breaking down. You don't want to be the dude walking through the street with an M4 slung. It's not going to end well. You ain't got enough rounds. And somebody that wants that rifle is probably going to take it from you, and it's going to cost you your life. So if you do invest in an M4, you guys already have M4s. They break down nicely, especially with the telescoping stock, and fit into a backpack. Should you need it, fallback location, put that bitch together, you can go hot with it. As long as you got pistols to carry as a primary while that's broke down, you should do just fine. A lot of times I have my M4 in the trunk of my car sitting up on my passenger side seat, but I have a battle bag too that I have 12 30 rounders in, but that's back and forth to work and shit like that. So you guys shouldn't ever need anything like that, but should you need it, you'd rather have it than fucking need it, not have it. So with that being said, 32 minutes, this is a long video. I figured I would throw this one up for y'all in its entirety so that you guys got everything at once instead of separating it into videos. Remember, it's not brand specific for firearms. It's what you shoot the best. It's what feels the best in your hand. And once again, when it comes down to budget, some of the stuff is going to be expensive. Do not settle for something because it's cheaper. Wait. Save your money. Wait. And get the weapon that's best for you. That's the biggest piece of advice I can offer you. Biggest piece, along with get the training. Even if you think you know what you're doing with a firearm, if you're going to concealed carry a weapon, whether constitutional or with a permit, get the best training you can, because the last thing you want to do is open yourself up to liability, get yourself in trouble, end up in prison, or do something stupid and maybe somebody that you didn't mean to shoot catches around and you're responsible for it. So I will not take up any more of your guys' time tonight. I love you guys. I want to see you do the best that you can for yourselves, be able to protect you and your families. If you have any questions about any of the tools that I laid out here tonight, or anything that you might be interested in that you want an opinion on, hit me up. However, if you ask me for my advice and then tell me why my advice is wrong, it's probably not going to end well for you. So if you want my advice, ask for it, but a thank you. I appreciate your input is perfect. I don't need I asked you for advice, but I'm going to tell you why I think my advice is right. I don't have the time for that. I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but I have my advice and it works for me because this is how I've done it for years and years and years, and I'm still alive. That's why I value what I do. So if you want it, I'll give it to you, but please, please don't waste my time. So have a glorious Saturday night, and I hope you guys have a even better weekend. I'm about to grab a bite to eat and rack out because I got to be up in like 4 hours to go back and do it all over again. So I will catch y'all on the flip side. Mr. Elk Spaghetti, signing off.